Hello everyone. My name is Chaos Drifter. I did this sexy 34 PB here for the current Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 80% speed run. So this video here is going to be a bit of a guide. I'm going to do a quick... I'm going to go ahead and just zoom this in all the way. I'm going to adjust. Just 1 second. I'm going to fix this up so it's a little bit cleaner and I can see a little bit more of the screen. Like so. A bit bigger than that. Wait, no, we can't. Whatever, we'll leave it like that. Okay. Regardless though, this is gonna be the Knights of the Old Republic 1 any percent speedrun tutorial video, analysis about what's going on, everything like that. If you've seen the runs before, awesome, you've got a good idea about what's going on. If not, then we'll kind of explain everything as everything happens. If you're not familiar with the game, I would definitely play it first before you watch the speedrun. But if you want to go ahead and watch this regardless, spoilers ahead. For this build, we're going to be taking 18 in strength because we're going to be a strength-based character. We're really not going to use much of it for the late game, but we need to have a lot of strength in order to defeat a few key fights in the early game, namely on Terrace. We need some constitution and wisdom in order for us to get some saves. However, we're really not going to care about anything that has to do with these stats after we make it past Terrace. As for our skill points here, we take 4 in security, 4 in persuade, and 2 in computer use. These are the only 3 skills that ever get used in any percent. In other categories, you'll see us use treat injury, but due to some exploits, we're able to get around everything else. We do have a very important fight that we have to take in the early game, so we want to go ahead and grab the weapon-focused melee weapons. Otherwise, it's just going to be really difficult. You could get away with something else, but there's really not a reason to do so. Time starts whenever we hit play here, so I will hit play using the enter button. This saves about 1/10 of a second rather than just clicking on play, and that just has to do with the amount of time it takes for your for the game to realize that you've hit play. Just a small little tiny thing. Now we're going to be doing our first hard buffer here. Doing 2 quick saves will typically get you the fastest time, as you can see there, and you'll notice that I'll drag my mouse up whenever I'm loading into that save. So here I'll show it again slower this time. Let's put it on half speed. Oh, whatever. That one more time slow-mo is really funny. Okay. And so that's just 3 quick hits of enter and then just moving your mouse up. Of course, you can do it in other ways. And as soon as you load in, you're going to want to immediately hold forward and left. And the line right here is the farthest that you can actually open up this footlocker. If your left toe is touching on that line, that's like the absolute max. That's where you're trying to hit. The issue is if you're a little bit too far, your character will just end up moving all the way up to the footlocker, and that's a waste of time. So trying to get that maximum distance is a pretty big deal. For me, what I like to do is I guess maybe I should go at a little bit of a slower speed here. What I like to do here, a little bit farther back. As soon as I use default action to open the door, that's whenever I'll open up my equipment menu, equip the short sword by doing enter down enter. Opening the door will then open, and then I can just mash. Now you can see that I'm hovering my mouse in a specific spot here. You're gonna have to practice for that. But if you do hover correctly while you're mashing for the first conversation, you'll be able to immediately click on Trask again. And then if you do it perfectly, you'll be able to hit the OK button as well. Still hold, so you're going to want to hold back and left or back and right or some variation of that based off of where you were standing for those other two. In this case, I have held back and left. It's going to depend on exactly how the different conversations moved you around. Okay, and we do the same thing for this one. As soon as I click 2 to security on the door, that's whenever I'll equip the blaster pistol on Trask. Hypothetically, you could do this even earlier, but you definitely want to do it before you do this fight here. Now, of course, this is all RNG here. I'm probably going to complain about that. That's a 3-shot. And here, let me go back just a second. Okay, so I'm already starting to spam now that I know. We're going to put that on 0.75 time. Okay, so I'm spamming once, that way the main character will be queued to attack that guy. And then you move Trask, whoops. You move Trask just to that corner there. I'm going to see if I can get it right up. That's a little too far. I know, this is a lot of times watching this, but this is okay. So cue him. And then we're moving Trask to this general area here. It's not a specific point, but you can basically just get into any area right in here. And then you'll be able to fire these 2 shots. And there's a very high likelihood that he'll hit and kill both of them. Okay. So, now here, we want to watch to see what that Sith Trooper does. Since his blaster rifle did not get picked up whenever we first entered the room, I'm going to have to run around him left. Otherwise, I'm going to lose time here trying to pass by him on the right. Okay. For me, as soon as I click that door there, that's whenever I'm going to quick save, quick load. And this is going to be our first instance of an AMG during the run. So for me, I'll try to wait until the absolute last possible moment for me to Alt F4 during this loading screen. And then that will give me the least amount of time lost for it. Since it's early in the game, I like to take it to be the absolute maximum risk possible on it. Later on in the run, we won't have it as much. So you can see that I'm currently flourish weaponing with the main character to move him while I'm moving Trask into a position. And then I'll cue him to open the door while the main character moves up to a spot that I like. There's no real optimal spot to put the main character here. I found that this is a consistent area where I can switch targets right and always go to this guy. However, there are times whenever I've been slightly off, I've been too far back, too far left, and it'll target me on something else. So just keep that in mind. You find a spot that works for you. Yeah, so far this run has been pretty okay. The 3rd shot here has lost me about 2 seconds of time. But otherwise, it's just the Spire. Now, this fight typically takes 10 seconds to get through. So I started the fight at 104, finished at 114. Okay, so we'll queue for the main character again, and then try to take these 2 shots with Trask. And then here's something that's really important. At this cross right here, you can't really see it because the loading bar is right over top of it, but there's a cross right here on the floor. And that's where, a little bit in front of that, where I'm standing here, is where you want to default action on this bridge. If you're a little bit too far to the left, or too far to the right, or too far back, you're going to move all the way up to the bridge, up to the door, and then it's going to take a second, and then it'll open. Right here is the sweet spot. Okay, once again, we do the same motion of spam 1 to... oh, that was really bad. That was like a whole second of time loss. I kind of glossed over it there, but you do have to take 2-weapon fighting there. So we'll see it here in just a second. So all I'm doing is just spamming enter while moving my mouse upwards. And now I'm doing a new open buffer here. So if I open buffer after my level up, and then enter into this room here, I can then do the conversation with Trask, and it'll skip me having to do the hard buffer, which saves about a second. Okay. Oh no. So now this is whenever we're going to do our first hot shot of the run, but I lose a lot of time on that. Dude, I suck so much. It's true. How can I not do that simple fucking... Gonna turn me down while I complain. Okay, so here, this is a good time to check to see if you have any extra grenades, if you have any stems. Obviously, having a alacrity here is going to be a huge help for you for the later parts of the run. Here, the conversation for that is 2-3, and be sure to loot the footlocker on the right. Nothing really too complex about this, and then you just want to hold right immediately as soon as you finish that terminal. Loot the remains off of the Sith commander here. And then as soon as we have this loading screen here, we want to AMG. So that way we can cancel this and then free look, which will give us about a 2-second time save as this shortens the cutscene. We're going to speed up the time here for just a second. Small note, if you do get an alacrity from the Spire, go ahead and press 6 before you see yourself waking up. So there's a small time period that you'll have that you will be able to use your stem immediately. That it doesn't lose any time to do so, and it'll just automatically do it. So you won't have to worry about menuing, you won't have to worry about changing anything that you do. All you have to do is just press 6 before you start getting out of bed, and that'll work. Now, granted, alacrities are pretty rare, but if it does happen to you, you now know to do it. Of course, this conversation is 43253, and don't worry, I'm not actually that fast. And we do immediately head out. Okay, so here, we're going to do a hard buffer, and then on my load in, that's whenever I'll do my AMG. Once again, I'll try to wait until the absolute last possible second. And now we're going to grab our infinite credits. So here, you need to get over 132 credits. The easiest thing for me to do is to sell my spike and my security spike, and that gets me around 160 or so credits. Sometimes, if you get extra credits off the Spire, you're going to have way more. I've gotten as high as almost 290 credits here, and it's a little bit of a pain. The reason why we want 132 credits or more is because we're going to buy this Vibra Sword. So, we have this AMG that's still up. We'll click on the Vibra Sword, we'll hear a click, and then we're going to buy stun batons until we're below 132 credits. Okay, we hit OK. We now load in, and you can see that I have negative credits. We're going to buy a bunch of frags. I'll typically buy until I'm over 1,000, and that's my good key marker at that point. Equip your Vibra Sword and prototype Vibroblade at this point, and head on out. We're going to go ahead and speed up some time here. One thing to note is that we do want to make sure we keep on as straight of lines as possible. So you can see I'm heading for exactly this point. There's no question, I'm not turning left or right. There's no need to do any of that. If you're moving left and right during this time period, you're typically wasting time unless you're trying to dodge an NPC like that. Okay, so now I queue for the MC to go towards the right, and then queue Karth to go towards the left. After I solo mode, of course. Talk to Zelka and hit 5, and now we're going to buy a couple alacrities, stamina, and strength. I'll hit enter. I'll tab over to the stems, the usable items, and then it's enter, down, enter, and that'll use all 4 of your stems, and then you can tab over to Karth, and then he'll use his alacrity. We'll do our Gip Warp here, and then throw the grenade. Oh my god, dude, what the fuck is wrong with... Don't do what I did. Hit tab. Don't hit your free look. This run sucks, and I hope it's not this run. That's it. It was this run. I hope this run is not the run, because honestly, I'm just playing fucking atrocious. I was playing really bad. Honestly, I have about like 3-4 seconds of time loss in this. And it's not even situations of, it's really just me playing kind of poorly compared to what I should be doing. Okay. But to back up here, it is a bad run. So once we enter in here, we're going to instantly solo mode and have the MC go to the right to kill Largo, so while Karth runs to the left to hit the trigger. Okay. Conversation for that is 1-2 or 2-2. And I like to hold, so let me explain this. Let me explain what just happened there. Largo, kill him. So I like to run far right in this case. You're always going to teleport to the exact same location no matter where you hit this trigger with Karth. But if you run to the right, it's a slightly less distance than running all the way to the left. So if the MC gets a really quick kill, then you'll be able to hit this trigger sooner than you would be able to hit the trigger all the way to the left. Please. Okay, so as soon as I finish that, I'm going to take my level up. In which case, it's just going to be skills. And I'm running away. Now, there's two different points that I'm looking for here. Keep in mind, I still have solo mode on. First, I'm going to run right to this corner here. It's not a corner, but essentially there's these little areas where like this shaded area kind of connects to this right here. Like a little line. Yeah, it's this little marker here, but for over here. I'm going to run to that point, and as soon as I get to there, I'm going to switch to Karth to throw a grenade. You can also go by the music cue. However, if something went wrong with Largo, it's possible that might not work. Cue the MC to open the door while you loot everyone with Karth, and then do another AMG, and then gip Karth right on over. Okay. Equipping Karth is pretty easy. All you have to do is open your inventory and then hit enter, up, enter. And then we'll do another gip with Karth once we get him to this line. Now, I see a lot of people overshoot this. A lot of people are going past this darkened line here. This one up here. You don't have to go that far. All you have to do is go past this line right here. Okay. Here we're going to set up a teleport for later. You can do this hard save at a different time, but I like to do it there. Okay, we want to remove the Sith armor from Karth and give him the combat suit, and then cue him to talk to the hidden Beck. Also, of course, make sure you solo mode. If you're feeling nervous, you can watch the MC kill those guys. As long as your line's pretty straight, it's not going to be that much of a time loss. That was also really bad. I'll probably complain about that for a second. Cue the MC to open the door. And then you'll gip him over there while once he's gotten close enough. That's really unfortunate. About a 2-second time loss. Okay. Okay, now there's an art to doing good Gaiden and Kira fights. Firstly, we no longer have conks. So for people who used to run back when we had conks, too bad. Here, what you're going to do is you're going to throw a grenade at each of them. So I'll do 3, 1, 1, 1, 1 with the MC, and then tab to Karth to then hit 3, and then I'm going to move him up to Gaiden to then just shoot as many power blasts into his face as possible. And you can see those 2 grenades alone just took out 2/3 of Gaden's HP, on top of how much it took off of Kira's. Now, there's a good chance that the MC will just one-shot Kira here. I don't think he does. And I'll typically take the... he two-shot her. You do want to make sure that Karth lives no matter what here, though. If Karth dies, it's a real problem. Alright. So for the flu. The flu is going to be... the flu is pretty long. For this, we're going to be taking dexterity in order to get us where we want to go. A lot of this is just practice, honestly. Just trying to do your best in order to hit recommended on all of your attributes and all of your feats while just constantly spamming enter and up. You'll see that I'm kind of like doing this circle motion, almost. I'm going to rewind just a second. I'm going to go a little bit slower here. So we'll go even slower than that. So recommended, skills, and then we just tab over to Karth, tab back. And you can see I'm just moving up And then whenever I hit these feats, that's whenever I'm going over to OK. And all of this is just trying to memorize exactly what this pattern is like for the first 20 levels. After the first 20 levels, you want to set your mouse up so that way it's sitting right over top of demolitions in stealth, and you're going to be spamming enter and up as fast as possible. And then, whenever you get to every 4th level, of the attribute levels, that's whenever you'll hit right. Also, guys, I am responding to questions in chat, so if anyone does have any questions, feel free to throw them out at me. I understand that there's some stuff that I'm kind of glossing over right now, so feel free to ask anything you would like during it. This flu is honestly pretty good. There's a few moments where I get hung up on it, but... Okay, we take Constitution here, and then we want to take Computer Use all the way to 45. And then we take Persuade to 21. We could take less than that, you could take more than that, it doesn't really matter. And then you need 91 Security. Okay, leaving the back base. Now this is something that you have a split second to make a decision on how you want to do it. In this case, I can see that there are a bunch of Becks that are currently standing pretty far away, nearby where the exit's at. So in this situation, I'm going to run the main character up to this guy right here, and run right past him, essentially. Turn around, see where Karth's at, and now we're just going to try to kill this one Beck. I get very fortunate that Karth kills him in that one shot. There's sometimes whenever it's not so lucky. Sometimes it's going to be very difficult to get one kill, and you're just going to be unlucky, and it sucks, and you're just going to have to reset. So I just got lucky. A lot of times, Karth is going to be busy just shooting at Gaddon for some reason. And you just got to deal with it. So the reason we need to kill one is we're going to be getting that. We need to kill that one Beck for 150 experience to get Karth to have a level up. Hypothetically, it's not necessarily a requirement, and we could potentially route it out of the run, but the DPS that we're going to be getting on Karth with the level up that he'll be getting whenever we fight the Governor is going to be so great that it's worth spending our time to get that one kill. Here we're going to make a hard save within the Cantina, and then immediately leave. It's important to leave as Karth, since that's how hotshots work. Here I'm going to be doing some quick saves here. The main character does not like to follow out of here. And your safe teleports start to not be terrible, honestly, at this point. So it does not really lose you much in-game time. We re-enter the upper city here and make sure to leave as Karth. That way, whenever we re-enter the upper city with a hotshot... Man, that sucked. How much of a time loss was that? Wow. That was like a 3-second time loss. 2-second time loss there. 2-second, 3-second time loss, whatever. Alright. Here's just another one of those get lucky moments. I don't this first time, but all you have to do is just move up to this and then use security on it. Still good though. It's no now we have the Utichani Moriara Shungturu Uni Plaktona Wanachona Dise, however he says it. Lane will critique me on how bad that's poorly said. I said it better then, but I was listening to him. Anyways. Utichani Moriara Shungturu Uni Plaktona Wanachona Dise. Whatever. I don't usually say it without the lines. Do a hard buffer here, you only need one quick save to pull it off. And you'll do your AMG. You can do the AMG during the load-in. We're gonna pause for a second here. You open buffer Camden? Nothing. We'll do the AMG here. We're gonna slow this down just slightly so I can show everything off. But there's a bunch of small little details that are happening here. So I'm lining myself up with this line right here. So that way, whenever I get right next to the table, I'll be able to just instantly talk to him. You want to kill your aim, so you want to just essentially spam with your mouse. And then as soon as you get the option for your dialogue select, you can hit enter, quick save, quick load. Quick save, quick load. Now you'll AMG on that. You're going to hit a default action and then unpause. And then you're going to repeat this another 2 more times. So AMG, default, unpause. Spam, enter, quick save, quick load. Just started swoop race at 9:53.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Earlier, it's just I was out when you sent them.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. I just needed to vent for a moment.
Like it,
It's kind of whatever though, you know. Oh, I missed the boost pad. That sucks. This run is atrocious, honestly. It is atrocious. It's getting held up by a good flu. 24:12 is not a good time for me. Typically, you want to just shoot for anything that's below 24. But missing that pad will really do it for you. Okay, so here we're going to do another hard buffer, but you do have to wait for that first part of the conversation to finish.
have you tried out some of the new Spire stuff?
And so here, we're going to do another hard buffer. And as soon as that hard buffer finishes, we're going to hard save here under our top save, load our teleport, and then hotshot to the upper city. But the other one I am.
What about the quick save right after looting the Sith soldier?
For what? Okay, so here we're going to just move up to the entrance of the Sith base. And then add Karth and do his level up to give him improved Power Blast. Is okay. Well, make sure to hold forward and right here, or forward and left, so that way the main character is closer to the terminal. The conversation for the terminal is 11634883. Exit out. And then you'll set up for a Gip Warp in here. You want to pass this line. I do it a little far there, typically because I'm just scared and want safety. And you'll load in. Okay, we're going to talk about this fight here for a second, because there isn't, it is a little bit, difficult. You're going to spam 1 with the main character, so that way he'll just move right up to the governor. And then you want to put Karth right behind the governor if possible. There's a chance that he's going to, end up, getting stasised early. And if one of your characters gets stasised, then you can just start throwing grenades. Be sure to throw your special grenades first, and then throw all those extra frags that you have afterwards. I kind of botched this a little bit, honestly, and I could have saved an extra, like, maybe 5 seconds or so if I was just lucky or didn't suck. After you get the after you get the data pad, you'll be able to hotshot out of here, so just save to your top spot, load your fast lane save, and then hotshot right on out of there. You can now talk to Canderous, and assuming that you moved away with Karth whenever you first exited the module, then you won't have to do anything. But if you left with the main character, you're going to have to be a little bit careful how you move. You need to make sure that the main character hits a trigger spot for Canderous to spawn in. So your options are to either leave out and re-enter if you do that, or to essentially move in such a way that you are right in front of the right inside of the trigger zone, and then head on out. It's just much easier just to leave with Karth and you'll spawn in that trigger. Here we'll do an AMG, do a free look, and head on over. We'll do another AMG here. Okay, we're going to slow this down for a second so I can show off exactly the point. So there's a split second when you see the Ebon Hawk after Davik finishes talking, that's where you want to quick save and quick load.
Is Rel also streaming?
Okay, make sure to equip your Sith armor, and with that, Terrace is over. We're a third of the way done.
It looks like he's doing AMG attempts.
Okay. Once again, be sure to hold forward here, so that way you're a little bit farther. If you don't hold forward, Canderous will try to talk to you there. And at this point, we're going to try to take the shortest line to the door, and then while the doors are opening, we're going to move to the right, so that way we can save time walking a little bit over later on. We're going to do another hard buffer to skip Belia's conversation here, because it's a waste of time. And we'll do an AMG here. I waited a little long, so I'm going to have to unpause. However, typically that's not an issue if you just do it immediately. Alright, so we're going to stand right in the center of this trigger. And we're going to, so, excuse me, we're going to open buffer into this trigger. And so that skips the first line of dialogue. Or lets us skip the first line of dialogue. Also practice talking to Bob. I did practice talking to Bob. Okay, so you're waiting for basically the main character to move away. And that's where you're going to kill your AMG, quick save, quick load. You can do it a little earlier if you'd like. Be sure to AMG on this one as well. You could choose not to do this, but then you'll have to do the harder version of the montage skip. And then once you load in, if you did AMG, you're going to tab and then unpause. If you didn't AMG, you don't have to do your unpause. Just make sure you tab immediately. And you'll know you did it right if you see that the main character and Canderous are standing right behind the council. Here you're going to tab over to Canderous. And for this, I'll do the conversation 116. Now, the conversation will end when you do 1-1, but pressing 6 immediately after causes Canderous to use the stem that he has in his inventory, which is an alacrity. And then you could talk to Jar again, and the conversation is 1163264. 1163264, yeah. And then Canderous will be able to run up to Dorak, and you'll become a Jedi after spamming 1. The only things that we need here are Force Speed and Affect Mind. And then we can turn back to Canderous, and then Jar will give us the stuff for our lightsaber. It's so stupid, but it works. Okay, cast your Force Speed, and then overwrite your teleport save, and then talk to Jar again. That's how it happened. I just was like on the wrong conversation. We're going to set up another AMG here. You can see that I had a pause, but I was prepared for that pause to happen, so I was able to immediately unpause. Hit the trigger. Oh my god, I didn't. That's a bit of a time loss there. It's not that bad, though. AMG, and now we're going to set up a fast lane. We pop up replace with that. We're going to do these 2 soft buffers here. For me, I like to buffer them together. Some people like to do them separately. Whatever you like to do. Once I round this corner, that's whenever I'll typically kill it. And now we're just running up to these guys and force jumping. You want to do your transit here at the maximum possible distance that you think you can get away with. If you're too far away and Canderous gets into combat there, you're going to be in trouble because Canderous will be Canderous will just get into combat and you won't be able to enter into the loading zone. You'll have to tab over to Canderous, and it's just a whole big deal. But we do need to have that as close to the ruins as possible for a later for our next transit that we're gonna do. Words are really hard sometimes. Okay, so we soft buffer going to Juhani, and we have enough persuade that we can just mash 1 there, and she'll take it and go back. Here we're going to do another hot shot to get to the Jedi Enclave. From school. And then we can head over to Vandar just easy after we talk to Jar. So you might have missed it there, but just like all the way back whenever we talked to Trask, I'm trying to hover my mouse over the OK. I missed it. I was a little bit too far up, but we are trying to hit OK immediately, and then you'll have to press. You'll have to like move your mouse up just a hair bit. Yeah, I feel you, dude. Sheep and I were talking about some stuff. Okay. So here we're going to exit out. You weren't aware. I'm sure most runners are, but if you're somehow just seeing this for the first time, if you weren't aware, there's a small cutscene that takes place right here. If we hug the right side like that, we do miss the trigger. So be sure to do that. And we're going to have Bastila forced into our party here, so I'll add Canderous. Canderous is important because he already has an alacrity on him. Do the soft buffer, and as soon as we do our soft buffer, then we'll load our fast lane save, return to hideout to do our pop-up replacement, and we're going to hit this. Ooh, I don't like this angle, but we'll see. And we're going to see how much time I lose here. I lost about 4 to 5 seconds on that. Ooh, I lost a little bit more than 4 to 5 seconds. Go back for a second. Actually, so yeah, I actually lost 10 seconds on it. It's a shame. Oh yeah, we got lots of people who speed run. Woody Cart, pleasure to have you, man. RC Woody in cart. All right, so here we're going to do a hot shot from. Let me go back a second. So here, now that I've gotten this clip in, let me explain the clip. Actually, I got distracted by me messing it up. This is actually a good teaching moment because I can show you why I messed it up. So what we're looking to do here is we want an angle that's just past perpendicular for whenever we return to hideout here. So you can see that I've actually got a little bit. It's too acute essentially. I need to be a little bit past the point. So because of this, Canderous is going to get stuck in the door instead of getting put on the other side of the wall. So for the next attempt, and you can see it there, I went just past the line. And this time Canderous will get through no problems. We set up an AMG here. Do another AMG. This is a separate AMG. And we can use force speed for both of those cutscene skips. Load back our teleport save, and we're going to perform a hot shot to go back to the council. Be sure to use Canderous because he does have an alacrity already on him. And you can talk to Vandar, and it'll if you normally run NMG, or if you're familiar with this will actually skip the first line of dialogue. Because the main character just gets warped up to the location instead of anything else. Okay, so now we're going to do 2 fast lanes back to back. One to put us back into the ruins, and then another one to put us right in front of the Ebon Hawk. Yeah.
It's like almost scary.
I've tried to go back and watch my old runs every once in a while. Okay, small note. Be sure to use your force speed before you enter onto the Ebon Hawk. That will allow you to not have to recast force speed again whenever you do our first map CS skip. Okay, we're going to head to Manon first. Do a map CS skip. Yeah. Just a little bit over. And we'll do it one more time. Okay, cast force speed immediately as soon as you get on Manon. And we'll do an open buffer here. You can do these, not an open buffer, I'm sorry. Do a soft buffer here. You can do those separately, or you can do them together, but we are buffering 2 different conversations there. It's a 3 for the merchant, and we'll buy all 5 of his thermal detonators. And we'll pass by Harold on the right. And now we're just heading to Bob. Small little optimization there on that doors. Go ahead and move there. Yep. You just move a little bit in the direction that you want to go, and it'll help you a little bit. Okay. Not a bad Bob. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's just not much to talk about here on Manon, so we are going to speed up just a little bit. I go at 1.25 speed. Actually, I think we'll go at 1.5. Just a 3-1 spam here for Roland. Okay, and then we're going to do another door clip here. Unlike any other door clip in the game, though, this one's almost free. Okay, we're going to slow back down again. Quick save, default action, 4 speed will get you past that door no problem. And here I'm able to do a quick save after I've opened each door, and it'll save me a little bit of time on how long it takes. We do want to try to jump to the second patrol droid since it's a little bit faster, and you do have to make a split-second decision on whether or not you're going to jump to a cell cath or just walk normally. If I remember correctly, I actually get stunned here, yeah, or slowed here. This loses a good chunk of time, honestly. Bit of a shame. This is a really poor section, and I could have gone... I honestly would have reset if I had gotten frozen there. Okay. Here we're going to do 2 fast lanes back to back. During our first fast lane, we'll remove the Sith armor and then re-equip it, and then we'll transit right back. I don't know why I said 2 fast lanes. It's just that we fast lane out and then unequip our armor. Now, since I didn't grab the sonic emitter, I'm going to have to be doing hard buffers here. It's definitely safer to grab your sonic emitter. However, it's slower. Don't do that to me. Of course, we are invincible from the hot shot that we did at the very beginning of the game. I might have neglected to mention that aspect of it because I was obsessed with how bad it was, but so be it. Okay, just make sure to hover your mouse right over the center of the force field here, and then you can use a soft buffer. Oh, here's the Band-Aid story. Okay, we'll do another fast lane here in order to, once again, remove the scuba suit and unequip and re-equip our Sith armor. Who just leaves a Band-Aid in the middle of some dude's apartment? Okay. So for here, I'm going to hover my mouse over the options in the top right. And the spot you're looking for is right around in between these 2 light fixtures here. That's whenever you're going to start save teleporting forward. Now, it's important to note you really do not want to get to this trigger. If you accidentally don't hit the CB trigger, you need to not do any kind of hard buffer at all. Because if you buffer this cutscene, it's GG. You're not going to be able to finish. Okay, now we're going to hotshot to the Ebonhawk. And we'll head to Korriban. So Korriban can be done without all these save teleports. RTA, it's about the same, if not a little bit better, but otherwise it's Otherwise, it's fine.
Buffer all the way down.
Yep. Take a fantastic look at this head there. I started doing that like 3-4 weeks ago. And this is also going to be pretty boring as well. I'm going to skip ahead. Actually, you know, instead of skipping ahead, we'll just do 1.5 times speed. Okay, talk to the Sith guard. And once again, we're just save teleporting over.
I'm just talking about like in general, because like when I saw that 19-minute RTA difference on 30's All Planets run, I was thinking like that seems a little out there. Like I never seen one above 10 minutes that wasn't in like, you know, a 2-hour run or something.
The thing is that like you get so much memory in K2. Okay, and do a 4 skip to skip Uthar there. So like it's just so disproportionate compared to K1. I don't know. I don't disagree. I think that we need to like have a discussion about it. Here it is, the famous we need to have a discussion about it. Okay, we're just save teleporting our way to I think that like even for like
Timer can be still there, of course, and it should still be there, like, you know, for reference if you want to like compare things fairly, but personally I feel like the RTA just feels more relevant to me. I don't know. You know, like it kind of sucks for people like Will.
But even Will's like RTA is like not that bad compared. Yeah, so this is going to be posted to Twitch, and I am doing a recording of it. Okay, so there wasn't really that much important that happened on Korriban, except I went directly to the Tomb of Naga Sadow, made a hard save, and now we're hot-shotting from the Tomb of Naga Sadow out. I just don't have much to really commentate on that. Mostly it's just about taking really straight lines. Okay. We're going to load into Kashyyyk here. Be sure to not walk forward there or to force skip or anything like that. We're going to be coming back here a good few times, so we really do not want to hit that trigger. Whenever you're talking to the Zerka. Okay, and now we're just going to save teleport out. You should use force speed. Make one quick save, exit out. Use force speed to buffer and then add any party member. I like Karth right now. And now we're going to do a hot shot on that save, just like how we did at the beginning of the game. Well, you have to walk to each next one. Bit of a time loss there. And we'll get Karth right on over. That's the thing. Like, if you didn't have to walk to the next, there's no hard buffer here, so we don't have to worry about it. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. And here we're going to hit the trigger for Jolie with the AMG. Okay, cancel out. Save teleport both Karth and the main character. We want to keep Karth close to Jolie while moving him away from the Katarns that were behind us. And then we're just moving towards the Zerka while that cutscene's playing. We're going to do some more save teleports while we head to the Zerka. And then we will soft buffer the Zerka conversation. You do want to activate your force speed here, because we're going to have to do some really small, tiny movement here. It's a really small time save, but it does make a difference. And we're not going to use the main character again while we're here. Be sure to add whoever you added before back into your party. And I needed to do a quit out because my memory was starting to get pretty hot. I'm over here, okay. More save teleports. Nothing too interesting here. Yeah. Here we're going to do a fast lane. Putting us back next to the Ebon Hawk. And the XY coordinates that are at the Ebon Hawk here are going to be perfect for us to do this hot shot. So we'll AMG on our hard save, do our hot shot, and Jolie will be located right next to the computer. So we'll kick Karth as well, but whoever you bring with you. Okay, as soon as you finish this conversation here, which is 111321115144141, then you'll be able to hard save again and then hot shot back to the Ebon Hawk after you do your AMG and kill it. Okay. Something I've also neglected to mention is that while we're in these galaxy map screens, you're gonna want to open, or you're gonna want to click your hotkey for opening up your equipment once. What this will do is this will give us a duplicate of our inventory for every single member of our party that we add on this. So in this case, whenever I flew to Kashyyyk, I only added one party member. Jolie was forcefully added to my party. So I got only a ×2 multiplier. So I've got now 10 thermal detonators. Now I haven't added any party members here on Tatooine yet, but I will have some of them soon.
He basically just keeps getting run to the very end. He calls them lottery tickets.
Do force skip there, and the conversation here is 11132. Try to do it as far away as possible, and as soon as we exit out here, we're going to add any 2 party members that you like. Currently, I've been doing Karth and Jolie, no particular reason, and then we'll load our teleport back at the Tomb of Naga Sadow. Sado. Hotshot to there, set up an AMG, and then move either of them into the trigger. And all I have to do is just save quick load. And now we're going to hotshot back to Anchorhead. So now that we're here on Tatooine, this is whenever our save teleports start to become fairly substantial. And understanding that essentially you're now taking these really big steps every single time we're taking these save teleports is a kind of a fundamental factor to it. Think about, like, instead of taking these tiny steps every single one, you're taking one gigantic step. And just think about, like, how big are your steps every single time, and how many steps would it take? There is a small, if you do hit the trigger for this, as soon as you click out of it, you can, like, force skip, and it'll save you some time there. It won't teleport you back. Okay, so this part does require some practice here. You're going to be holding forward on mouse 1 and 2, and then you're going to spam caps lock until you see that your character now is currently in their normal position. And this rock right here, actually not where I usually want to be, is where you want to stand. You'll cast force speed as you move up to the star map. You can choose not to, but I like to do it. And now we're going to hotshot to the Ebon Hawk. I guess that's something. Travel to Lahan, make sure to duplicate your inventory, and make sure to skip this guy as well. Now on this one, we're going to AMG on our load-in. If you do get the fighter encounter, you're going to Alt F4 again, and then you can press the hotkey for your map, and then you can return to Ebon Hawk, which will put you already outside of the Ebon Hawk here. If you don't get it, then you'll just have to walk out of the Ebon Hawk. It's a very slight time loss, but it's pure RNG, so there's nothing you can really do about it. Here, here I quit out. I guess I was running pretty close to my memory. But when I load back in, I'll just add any party member. As long as it's not Canderous, really. And you need to pick up the ship parts. Okay, once I've left out, we're now going to do a gift warp to get the main character or Juhani, honestly. Either really works. Up to the temple. And then we will do an AMG to do a fast lane setup, and then add specifically Karth. You do need to have specifically Karth in your party right now. We're going to do another fast lane door clip here. In this case, Karth gets right past. And we do have another small time save that we found. We were doing these gift warps slightly differently before, but now we got a different way to do them. So I'm going to cue the main character to open the door. And we will get Juhani downstairs. I got a little lucky there that Juhani was considered close enough, honestly. You're going to force skip on Bastila right here. Not force skip, but... yeah, force skipper. And then move the main character so that way he can use this terminal here, which is just 111. And we'll fast lane out of here. Karth will be right next to the Ebonhawk, and we can have him enter on in. Cast 4 speed as soon as you enter into the Ebonhawk, and then repair the hyperdrive. I got a gold Lahan with a reset.
What will be the first time?
I had a little hesitation there at the end, I'm going to be honest. Because I kind of panicked for just a half second. That's true. Okay, cast 4 speed again as soon as you finish that cutscene skip. And we'll add specifically Juhani. We'll now cue the main character to move towards this door here. Do an AMG with Juhani and then cast 4 speed with her. Don't do what I'm doing here, and then you'll need to unpause after the AMG. And you're going to set up your gift warp at this point. Now, you do have the option of equipping Juhani with the Vibra Sword now, or doing it later. Really, anytime honestly works. Okay. You're going to cue the main character to open the door, and we're just going to keep using Flourish Weapon with Juhani, so that way she keeps moving forward. Okay, we want to make our hard save before we open up that door. And now we're going to tab over to the main character while she performs that skip. Set her up into the GIP location, and then boom. As long as you don't look at it, then it won't happen. And KotOR, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, it didn't happen. Alright, so we're going to now do just a little bit more micromanagement. Moving around Juhani while the main character is queued up to go to another door. At that corner, that's where we're going to commit to our GIP. And then we'll just keep moving forwards from here. And once again, we'll just head to this corner. You can tell the corner right here. Now, you typically only need 2 quick saves here. I think I do 3. I do 4. But honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter that much. And we'll hard save over our hotshot current. This will be our final hotshot of the game. Or these are the final 2 hotshots of the game. We're now going to hotshot back to deck 1. Move Juhani a little bit farther out here. And then re-hard save over teleport. And then now we're going to hotshot back to the command center. Okay, so at this point, all we have to do now is complete the fight with Malik. Once you get past that line there, we'll be able to get Juhani over to Malik. No big deal. And we're waiting for Malik to take 1 step there, and then he'll finish doing all of the movement he needs to do. And at this point, if you haven't already, you do need to equip Juhani with her Vibra Sword. I suppose you could wait a little bit longer, but all right. And here at the end, we're gonna pause, make a hard save over hotshot current, or really any save, and then we're gonna start throwing thermal detonators at him. Okay. The technique I use is I'll do 3 cancel combat, 3 tab, 3 cancel combat, 3 tab, 3 cancel combat, 3. You'll see I'll do it a couple extra times in case I'm a little slow, so you might do 3 cancel combat, 3 3 3, tab, 3 cancel combat, 3 3 3, and as long as you have an AMG open here, you'll quick save, quick load. And now this is the final trigger to run the wire target. We're going to quick save right next to Malik as Juhani while staring him down. Start spamming default action with the main character. And at this point, we're now just waiting for either Malik to run out of force or for Juhani to get a hit on him. And the time stops whenever we get the black screen, which is now.
There you go.
That's GG. That's KotOR 1 at any percent. Hopefully that was a fine enough explanation on everything. There is some work. There's still more work to be done. It took about an hour. Honestly, that's about what I expected. I'm gonna post this to YouTube. If people do have questions on that and are currently watching it now, in the description I'll probably have a link to our Discord, and you can feel free to come by, ask questions to me or any of the other runners. If this run seems really complex, it definitely is. So also come by and check out some of the other runs like No Major Glitches or Glitchless. Those might be a little bit more beginner friendly if you aren't prepared to learn all these different glitches. To everyone who's been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for any percent to finally be at the end of its rope and we're done with rerouting again before you can start running, I think we're done. I don't think there's going to be any more major changes coming anytime soon. But of course, this is just cursing us to have another glitch found that's going to drastically impact 8%. So with that, I think I'm going to stop the recording. And